One Piece Film Gold movie review has been long overdue. I realise that. Now, first off, I'm not going to come out and say, oh, this is the best movie out of the bunch. No, that's for you to decide yourself. I think this is the most entertaining One Piece film we've ever had. That's my opinion, but yeah, there's a lot of elements in this movie that makes it stand out. And you can tell almost instantly when they were putting this movie together, there was a conscious effort to make this movie not only just stand out, but make it a lot more unique and dynamic than the previous movies. And I'll give you a prime example. The theme of the movie, right? I guess the theme of Grand Zoro was pretty much based on Las Vegas. Now, let's start from the beginning. Gil Zoro. I guess he's walking up the flight of stairs, and almost immediately, the tone of the movie was set, I think. And as he's walking up the stairs, he's doing this. And as he's doing this, I don't know if you noticed, but there's kind of a beat going on before the opening song kind of starts. And by the way, I just want to give out a shout out to the OST in this movie. It was a delight. It was an honest delight. I love the opening song with Gil Zoro. It starts off with the opening performance from Karina and Gil song, I guess, a concert. Now, this is where it also introduces the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats are going nuts because everything they see is gold, especially Nami, who's having a field day. Almost immediately, you can tell that the Straw Hats are passing through. They get pretty much getting covered in the golden shower. Huge consequences as we go later on in this. As a group of 40 pirates who thought they can do something against the Straw Hats, but that opening fight was made for eye candy when it comes to the Straw Hats. It really was. I like how when each of the Straw Hats get the chance to shine, it kind of transitions into the Straw Hats bounties. So I kind of appreciated that. Also, kind of cool at first, but when Usopp riding on Chopper, I thought that's something cool that could happen in the future. But it's like, no, but Usopp just straight up falls off like a dog. But no, each of the Straw Hats are pretty much having the chance to shine. And pretty much Gil Zoro finishes the flight of pirates off with the I guess the Golden Lee abilities that he has of Paramecia. Obviously, I don't need to explain much about the art and animation. Yeah, it's treated like pretty much VIPs at first. We get introduced to Baccarat. I'm sorry, for personal preferences, I think she was the best character out the group of antagonists. Out the four, I think Baccarat was the best character out the antagonists, but that's my opinion. She has the devil ability to cause anybody she touches to have bad luck. Almost immediately, you can tell this is where something is dead wrong. So the Straw Hats get picked up by a car running on turtle power for driving the Straw Hats to the casino, hassled by a trio of kids who come to find out are nothing more than slaves to work off debts to Gil Zoro, and that's pretty much what people do, I guess, to survive in the Grand Zoro around the debts, and if they don't, they get sent down underneath, which we come up later find out. It doesn't take long for the Straw Hats to stand out because, oh boy, I guess the Straw Hats get suited up, each of them looking like pimps. They're pimping out. I think Robin, Luffy, and Sanji look the best out of the bunch. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, but with the beastie outfits, they go into the casino, and I'm sorry, like Luffy's luck. If a lot of people had Luffy's luck when it comes to the lottery, a lot of people would be millionaires right now because that's ridiculous. And it starts off with Usopp, Chopper, and Luffy, I guess, going on the Total Grand Prix, and this is what I'm talking about. The American culture was incorporated into this movie because straight up you can tell Oda was kind of referencing wacky races. If you remember that back in the day, that's exactly what it reminds you of. They pretty much get on a hot streak for a while. That kind of changed when I guess Gil Zoro kind of challenges Luffy to all or nothing, to triple the winnings. You would think Nami would be casual. She would play it safe, but no, she's like egging Luffy on to take this challenge. Luffy won't lose. Yeah, that was kind of the problem. They didn't walk away when they should have. It caused a whole lot of problems. Obviously, Baccarat, she touches Luffy. Robin kind of tries to warn Luffy, but it's too late. Turns to bad. I guess Dice rolls the dice. The guy's built like Frankie. And obviously, it lands in Gil Zoro's favor. The Straw Hats now, they have to work off the debt. Luffy is having stomach pains. And this instantly, that takes Luffy out of the picture. So Zoro's the next one to step up to try and face Gil Zoro. And obviously, this is where Zoro gets caught off guard. He gets manipulated by the Gold Go through. And because they were already covered when they first arrived in Grand Zoro by the Golden Shower, that's how Gil Zoro's devil fruit ability works. If you're covered by by the gold go through, you're fucked. So Zoro kind of like he says, listen, the only way you'll work this off is you bring back the 500 billion, or Roronoa Zoro gets executed and pretty much kidnapped at this point. And let's be honest, and this is another thing that I think this movie had going for it that it didn't have in the previous two movies. I mean, yes, I mean Nami in Strongbow, she was kind of kidnapped, but her life wasn't really being threatened until the end. But Zoro, his life was kind of being threatened to be executed if the Straw Hats couldn't pay the debt, and that's pretty much how this movie shifts into gear. Guild to Zoro has a secret stash of money or berries that can pay off the debt, so that's the plot, to try and steal it back so they can rescue Zoro. I just want to point that out real quick because let's be honest, despite what anybody thinks, when the fuck has Zoro ever been captured? At least post time skip, it hasn't happened too many offers, and if it has, it's been kind of a joke. Let's be honest. I think it happened in Fisherman Island, but Zoro could have broken out any time. But this is different because Zoro, he couldn't do shit. He was manipulated by the gold, and he's being threatened to be executed. That hasn't happened since, I believe, pre-time skip, and so it doesn't happen much. And I think in all honesty, it was kind of an effort on the part of Oda to kind of shadow things like this are going to happen in the future. Not just with Sanji right now in Whole Cake Island, but other crew members, they're pretty much going to be at risk as well. I appreciated that because there's a sense of urgency from the get-go. Trying to come up with a way with trying to, I guess, to break into Guild to Zoro's money necessary to pay off the debt. Well, obviously, this is going to the securities can be tight because this movie that now has a rescue operation in effect, and that's pretty much where Oda shines when it comes to One Piece content, when it comes to rescue missions. I really appreciate that. So we have the I guess the duo of Frankie and Luffy. They go up ahead, I guess from above, trying to, I guess, disable the security monitors and all that to break in. And then when they're running up the building, and this is one of the kind of hidden gems that we get to see. 3 times he runs up the building. We get to see a cameo shot of Absalom. I'm sorry, that was out of the blue. That was kind of funny. They probably get to the top, and now we got Nami, Robin, Sanji, Chopper, Usopp, and I guess Brook teaming up with Karina. Actually, they do manage to find their way in by, I guess, beating the shit out of the Tenryubito and taking the Celestial Dragon costume so they can sneak on past. So that was kind of quick thinking. Karina doing the business with the distraction, obviously with the obvious fan service. Tanaka's ability as well. Tanaka obviously has the ability to move for walls and doors and shit. So yeah, so that was kind of the reason for that. But it doesn't take long for Luffy to slip up. I'm sorry, this is one of the funniest parts of the movie. There's like an awkward what the fuck moment because Luffy gets caught and there's like a split pause and it's like you trying a second to digest. Yeah, Luffy realized you just fucked up. So Luffy and this is, I pretty much guess what part 1 of Luffy versus Guild to Zoro takes place. He hockeys up, he punches the shit out of Luffy, and then both Luffy and Frankie get sent down below. I guess to where everybody else who can't pay off the debts get introduced to a couple of characters that we haven't seen in a while. First off, we get to see freaking Rob LUCCI talking to Al-Qaeda, and I think this is one of the most interesting parts of the movie when LUCCI is talking to Al-Qaeda. He's like saying, "Can you give us a dozen fleets, battleships to head to the Guild to Grand Tesoro?" And Al-Qaeda is like, kind of, why do you need that many? It's like, it's not your question. And Rob LUCCI kind of talks down on Al-Qaeda like a boss. So, and then we kind of see the revolutionaries, SABO and Koala. Now they do reference one of the previous members, but they also SABO kind of gets made aware that Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats are on the Grand Tesoro. The gamble who lost the gamble and who had to I guess he got conned as well. He got sent down below and he meets up with Luffy and Frankie. He goes by the name of Raise Max, so he had some affiliation with the revolutionaries, so that's interesting. I really want to know more about that. And then they have to find a way to escape, but it's pretty much a constant team effort for Luffy to kind of find a way up. And this is pretty much where the back and forth conversation between Luffy, I guess between Guild to Zoro and Zoro, when And Giltosaurus kind of like asking Zoro, "Are you scared?" Like, no, I have no choice but to put my faith in the crew. Again, I think there's going to be some type of foreshadowing for what's happening in the future. Double switch midway because when the Straw Hats, when they try to get to Zoro, Karina, it makes it seem that Karina is kind of switching sides because reasons to the backstory between Nami and I guess Karina and what really went down. And when I guess she took the treasure and she split, leaving Nami to fend for herself. She did that to protect Nami in a nutshell, but we don't get to find that out until later on in the movie. Appropriate timing, and that's pretty much when Luffy shows up. The gold gets turned into water. Zoro busts out that shit, and this is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie where the Straw Hats are back in control, and Giltosaurus starts losing it for the first time. It's like, oh, you fucked up royally about this, and he goes under rage, which is not surprising because he doesn't like to be laughed at unless he's the one causing people to laugh. So I guess what he does is he awakens this gold girl fruit because the water that was turned into water, he turns into gold again, which is, we've seen this before from Doflamingo, when he used his string abilities to turn some of the buildings into a string. Yeah, it's kind of similar thing. It covers everybody else in gold armor, and Baccarat looks a beastie out of the bunch, and this is pretty much where the did you notice, with the exception of Luffy and Zoro, there's no one-on-one fights. You have a pairing of Sanji and Robin. Robin and Sanji's shippers are going to go nuts over that. And by the way, when Sanji delivers the final blow, I think that's probably one of the best scenes, animated scenes in the movie for sure. Yeah, this whole thing with the Straw Hats being together, kicking ass together, it's going to be a while before we see that, not only in the manga but also in the anime. So stuff like this, you got to kind of like appreciate while you can, because it's not happening in the anime anytime soon. So and Dice has a really odd complex. Like whenever he gets hit, he seems to get thrills over it. His personality kind of and his mannerisms kind of remind me of Armstrong of Fullmetal Alchemist. He just has that mannerisms to him. But Zoro gets through that, and I'm sorry, like Dice kind of like what he does. He takes Zoro's blades. Zoro, he blocks the hit by using armored hockey on his arm, and it's like he has one blade that he uses to counter strike. He uses hockey. It's pretty much a one shot at this point. Usopp delivers the final blow to Baccarat. It's cool. Usopp getting a chance to shine, and then we see Nami, Karina, and watching Luffy go against Giltosaurus, and Giltosaurus, I guess he goes into Optimus Prime mode with the gold abilities. Just when you think all hope is lost, and you think this piece of shit Spandam is gonna, I guess, kill Straw Hat. No, he gets blocked by the same kids, I guess, that we see earlier on in the movie. He just punches the shit out of him, so he's done. Meanwhile, Rob Lucci is about to launch an attack on I guess the Grantosaurus, not only on Giltosaurus but also the Straw Hats. But who steps up but SABO himself to block the hits, uses Marimaro abilities, and then we get the beastly stare down between LUCCI and SABO. Now I do want to point this out because we don't get to see that fight. We get to see the clash between LUCCI and SABO. That was pretty much it. After that, that's gonna be a fight for the. That's gonna be a future fight happening, maybe in the Revolutionary arc between the Revolutionaries and CP0. So that's something to look out for as well. So conclusion there, because that's gonna be a future fight in the manga. So, but it's cool to see in Gear 4. We saw it coming. We saw it in the trailers, but it looked beastly as hell. There wasn't a build-up like when he was against Doflamingo, but it still looked beastly as hell. Honestly, when Giltosaurus was gonna like kind of throw Nami on the ground, I was kind of hoping Luffy would kind of, that's when he was gonna bust into Gear 4 and save Nami. That would have been beastly as all hell. I'm just saying, but that'd been cool. But no, he delivers King Kong gun, blows the shit out of Giltosaurus, and then Giltosaurus pretty much he tries one last attack. That gets cut off. I guess Giltosaurus we get some snippets of a flashback of what he's all about. A girlfriend of some sort, or partner, called Stella. They were kind of like they were captured by the celestial dragons and used as slaves because we do see the marking on the back of Guilt or Sorrow. Now we don't know what happened to Stella. I guess she got fucked up, or she's still under custody of the 10-year-old Vito. We don't know, and I guess that's kind of the reason why Guilt or Sorrow was a douchebag. I'm not excusing it at all. He was a dick to the Straw Hats, but no, I guess that's kind of the reason why he was the way that he is. But it doesn't matter because that gets resolved. Meanwhile, the Gigantosaurus is pretty much on shutdown. It makes you seem that the place is going to self-destruct, but no. There is another troll on the part of Karina. She takes off with the gold, I guess, but she leaves Nami with 5 gold rings, which I thought was cool. And that's pretty much how the movie ends. I really appreciate it. Again, like the Straw Hats fighting together, that's not going to happen for a while, at least in the manga or the anime. So enjoy it while it lasts. So at least unless you watch the English dub of the time skip in One Piece, it's not going to happen for a while. I love how it fits. I definitely like that opening song with Karina, Guilt or Sorrow. All in all, I think it was the most entertaining One Piece film of all time. Again, entertaining film, not the best film, but that's for you to decide. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I had a hell of a time watching this in sub. I can guarantee you I'm going to watch the English dub when it comes out. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this movie, let me know what you think down below. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.